we're all still anxiously waiting for the return of Jared Vanderbilt so we can see Cam Reddish and Jared Vanderbilt in the starting unit or some type of unit. Just see those two just prowling over on the exterior, just patrolling and keeping guys honest. Just that defensive impact that the Lakers have really heavily lacked this season. To see those two just be relentless is something that I cannot wait for. And I know many of you as well feel the same way. I mean, we've seen Cam Reddish really get after it and just play some excellent defense and covering all the ground. He leads the league in deflections. He's averaging like 3 steals a game. It's been just something special to watch with him. And then Jared Vanderbilt, I mean, he's been one of, if not arguably, the best on-ball perimeter defender in the entire league. Last season, Lakers are middle of the pack defensively and acquire Jared Vanderbilt and immediately become number one. So I imagine that Jared Vanderbilt's return will have a similar return for the Lakers to that defensive prominence. And then obviously once we get Gabe Vincent back, right now the Lakers are currently without their 3 top defensive guys, not named Anthony Davis, of course. That's going to hurt, right? And we definitely saw that in the Dallas game. But once these guys return, I cannot wait. But we need to know, like, what's going on, right? Jared Vanderbilt, about a week and a half ago now, 2 weeks ago, we got the news that, hey, he's starting to ramp up. He should be returning at some point relatively soon. Cam Reddish, he ends up getting hurt. He plays 5 minutes. It's like, what's going to happen to him? He ends up missing the Dallas Mavericks game. But we got some updates that I kind of wanted to go over and discuss. So let's start with Cam Reddish first, because he was the most recently injured. So Darvin Ham, Lakers head coach Darvin Ham, told reporters prior to Wednesday's game against the Dallas Mavericks that swingman Cam Reddish is day-to-day after his MRI came back clean. And the groin injury he re-aggravated was not as severe as the team initially thought. Also added that Reddish aggravated the injury in Tuesday in-season tournament matchup against the Utah Jazz. He played just 5 minutes before exiting the game, which the Lakers won in a blowout fashion, 131-99. So that's good news, right? That Cam Reddish could come back at any point. I do imagine that the Lakers are cautious with Cam Reddish. Like, I don't see them rushing him back immediately. We could use him badly against the Cleveland Cavaliers, right? Especially if Donovan Mitchell's playing. He's the guy that could absolutely get going, and it'd be nice to kind of have Cam Reddish to throw on him, especially like late in games if that's a close game, if that's a tight game, to have just Cam Reddish's size, his youth, his athleticism, just all of those factors are what make him such a good defensive player. But I'm glad that this wasn't some huge significant injury to where he's out, a month or two. But again, we have seen the Lakers proceed on the direction of caution when it comes to these players, right? Jared Vanderbilt is one of those players, and again, we'll touch on him here in a moment. But with Cam Reddish, hopefully with having the Dallas game off, and then now you had no games yesterday because it was Thanksgiving, and then follow that up with today, they don't play. Maybe we could get him back for that Cavs game tomorrow. If not, at some point during this road trip, we could really use him because we got a 4-game road trip that the Lakers, we got to win. At worst, go 2-2 on this road trip. I personally would like at least a 3-1. The Lakers have been pretty bad, that to put it lightly, pretty bad on the road. They've won 2 road games. One was against the Phoenix Suns with Bradley Beal and Kevin Durant, so that was very notable. But the other one was against the Portland Trailblazers in the in-season tournament game. Both of them were actually in an in-season tournament game, which we've seen the Lakers really elevate their level of play when it comes to that. They seem definitely locked in and focused to try to win this little cup. But I'd like to see that for the regular season games too, right? But regardless, hopefully Cam Reddish is back sooner rather than later because we, again, need him badly, especially because it looks like Jared Vanderbilt is still probably going to miss some time. I hope that Jared Vanderbilt comes back during this road trip, but As far as Jared Vanderbilt and his update, Jared Vanderbilt has not had any contact yet. I don't want to put a time on it. The biggest thing with Vando is because for so long he had to do stationary drills just individually, he hasn't had really any contact, obviously. So he is just day by day ramping up and getting his conditioning, low impact conditioning, as well as basketball stuff, and just to see how he recovers from that day to day. This, of course, was Darvin Ham diving into Jared Vanderbilt. So they don't want to have to ramp him up too soon. They don't want to, again, they want to play it safe with him. It's good that he has the green light to start ramping up to be more aggressive with his workouts, but it's just a day-by-day deal, which Darvin Ham followed up with. So, again, Darvin Ham, Lakers, proceeding on the side of caution when it comes to these players. Jared Vanderbilt hasn't had a ton of just contact and running all these like heavy sets and things like that. He is basically just been stationary up until this point, just working on his shot stuff, which is good, right? I mean, he still needs to develop and work on his shot, so hopefully he's getting a lot of reps in, kind of getting comfortable there, but there's no replicating an actual NBA game, right? And you don't want to take him and go from essentially being stiff to throwing him into the fire, and now he has to compete at such an elite level as far as NBA standards go, and he's not there because that could cause even further injury. So my guess is we're still probably at least through the rest of the month, hopefully beginning to early December, we see a return of Jared Vanderbilt. That would be really nice. Obviously, again, I would love to see him return for this 4-game road trip, but more likely than not, my guess is that we kind of get through the rest of this month, and then we start to see Jared Vanderbilt return to play in action then. So that way he has time to kind of really continue to ramp up, get to just more NBA level speed. Because yeah, he can run all the drills he wants. He can run and take as many shots as he wants. He can do scrimmages. He could do all that. He can go to his local Y, play against NBA level talent, all of that. There is no replicating what actually goes on in an NBA game and the NBA action that you see these players have to endure. It's just you're never going to really truly replicate that. So as far as Jared Vanderbilt goes and his concern, even when he does return, don't expect him to be this super elite, great defensive guy immediately from the jump, right? He's still, as much as even offensive players, defensive players, same thing. They have to find their footing. They have to find their timing, right? You have to kind of get into the flow and the ups and downs of just the game of basketball, especially, again, at that pace. I mean, that pace is unlike anything we've ever seen. These are the pinnacle top elite athletes that Jared Vanderbilt especially has to defend the best players on the other team night in and night out, right? It's going to take him a little while to kind of get back into just being able to read and react quick enough to stay in front of some of these players. But once he does get into true defensive form and true defensive fashion, then now again, I think the Lakers will be A1 once again on the defense side of the basketball. Now, hopefully, I mean, it would be nice if immediately he comes in and he doesn't skip a beat and he's good to go from the moment he returns. That obviously would be the best case scenario, but I just want people to have a realistic expectation when it comes to Jared Vanderbilt and this situation. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion, so I pass the question on to you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? How do you feel? Hopefully, again, by December, beginning of December, maybe early December, we have both Cam Reddish and Jared Vanderbilt returning in action, locking down opposing teams. I cannot wait for that. Seriously, I am pumped for that. Lakers, without a doubt, need it badly, right? We need that defense. We need that energy. We need that athleticism. We need that hustle. We need Jared Vanderbilt as well as Cam Reddish on the basketball court, because those two guys are going to make us a lot better. They don't solve all of our problems. They don't solve all of our issues. But I do think Jared Vanderbilt and Cam Reddish, once they both are on the court together, I think are going to help and solve a lot. I think we're going to be a lot better with those two than people think. But again, however you feel, whatever your thoughts are, I'd love to hear it. Let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me out a lot. Lets me know you enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. If you're not subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. I will see you all in the next one. Thank you.